阿迪达斯，
Is
这
this
品牌
Adidas?
布料摸
But the
起来
fabric
就是
feels
不一
different.
样啊，真
Wow,
好啊！
Adidas.
哇，
Hey,
阿
it's
迪
the
达，
Sabi,
哎，
not
打
Adidas.
萨比啊，打萨比牌的呀。
There is a brand called Pepsi in the United States, and there is a brand called Wansi Cola in China. Even the packaging, colors, and logos of these two brands are very similar. Let's talk about the ubiquitous knockoff products in China. In the 1980s, China implemented economic reforms and opened up to encourage foreign investment, attracting internationally renowned brands like Nike and Adidas. These brands saw China's vast market and low labor costs, so they moved their factories to China, making China the world's factory in a short time. The prices of Chinese-made counterfeit products are meager, making consumers buy brand-name products at a very cheap price. Manufacturers can also obtain high profit returns, thus leading to the emergence of a large number of counterfeit products in China. In the 1980s, the trade volume of Chinese counterfeit goods was only US 30 billion. By 2021, it had grown into a market worth US 600 billion, accounting for 2% of the world's total trade. Up to 80% of the world's counterfeit goods come from China. In the past, the quality of counterfeit products produced by Chinese factories was generally poor. However, in recent years, through OEM production and other methods, Chinese companies have directly learned the techniques of original brands and started to produce high-quality counterfeits, gradually forming a high imitation market. These companies often register trademarks that are very similar to genuine brands in an attempt to pass off the counterfeit as the real thing. It's hard to imagine a country with so many counterfeit products. For these counterfeit businesses, there is nothing they can do as long as there is a demand from customers. From luxury brand products to daily necessities, counterfeit products are everywhere in the lives of Chinese people. China's low labor costs have led many internationally renowned brands to set up OEM factories in China. These factories, after operating for a long time, have mastered the blueprints and techniques of genuine products and can produce very similar counterfeits, sometimes with quality even surpassing the originals. Take shoe manufacturing as an example. Putian City in Fujian is known as China's shoe manufacturing city. The quality of the counterfeit shoes produced in Putian can even surpass that of genuine ones. In 2020, the mayor of Putian jokingly said that if your Nike shoes wear out in 2 years, they are real. If they wear out in 3 years, they are made in Putian. Putian is located in China's coastal economic development zone and enjoys certain national preferential policies. As a result, Nike and Adidas have set up OEM factories there. However, as the sneaker market prospered, Putian businessmen also sensed the business opportunity and simply developed their own counterfeit production lines, producing high-quality counterfeit shoes and selling them worldwide. The owners of counterfeit shoe factories obtain design blueprints from employees of Nike and other brand OEM factories and even hire many senior workers from these OEM factories at high salaries to guide them in mass-producing counterfeit shoes. The number of counterfeit shoes from Putian flowing overseas is increasing, and some shoes are so well made that even experts find it difficult to distinguish them from the genuine ones. A Nike employee told the New York Times that he estimated that 1 in every 3 pairs of Nike shoes worldwide are fake. Putian is truly the capital of counterfeit shoes in China. Not far from Putian is the small county of Yunan, which is known as the hometown of counterfeit cigarettes. Below are 2 videos from a Chinese Douyin blogger. I originally thought that when it comes to counterfeiting, Putian is the top in the field, being able to fake any brand of shoes to the point of being indistinguishable from the real ones. However, what I didn't expect was that there is a place that even Putian has to bow to. Located in Fujian, 300 kilometers from Putian, is a small county you may have never heard of called Yunan County, which is known as the hometown of counterfeit cigarettes in China. For over 20 years, the hometown of counterfeit cigarettes has produced countless fake cigarettes, dominating not only the domestic market but also flowing into Europe and America. At the peak of counterfeit cigarette production, 95% of China's counterfeit cigarettes came from here. The story starts with Yunan Cigarette Factory. Even before the establishment of the People's Republic of China, Yunan County was a well-known cigarette production base in the province. Considering the local economic development, a cigarette factory was established in Yunan in 1952. It was a real cigarette factory factory. In the 1990s, the Yunfu brand cigarettes produced here were once rated as the highest grade of flue-cured tobacco cigarettes in Fujian and ranked among China's top 500 largest industrial enterprises. However, after just a few years of glory, the cigarette enterprises started to reform. In the 1990s, Yunshao cigarette factory was shut down. Laid-off cigarette factory workers lost their livelihoods and had to fend for themselves. They couldn't make real cigarettes, so they made counterfeit ones. The cigarette-making skills couldn't be wasted. Thus, individual households with cigarette-making technology and sales channels began to stir. A few farmers in Xiaiban Village, Yunshao County, bought new Zhanghua cigarette machines and started producing counterfeit brand-name cigarettes. In this small county, with a population of more than 400,000, everyone from elderly people in their 70s and 80s to children as young as 7 or 8 can skillfully master cigarette-making techniques. How skilled are they? According to a local netizen, when they pack cigarettes into boxes, they grab exactly 20 cigarettes in one go, not one more, not one less, just enough to fill a box. Now let's take a look at the craftsmanship of Yunshao counterfeit cigarettes, the golden brand of counterfeit cigarettes in China. Like the ones labeled not for sale, Grade Zhanghua, which are the elementary level of Yunshao counterfeit cigarettes. There are also ones labeled special supply, which are rarely seen in the market, but in Yunshao they are everywhere. To enter the international market, Yunshao people even produce more than 60 types of the Marlboro. Some people may ask, with Yunshao counterfeit cigarettes being so rampant, why hasn't anyone taken action? Of course they have. In fact, since the late 1990s, the authorities have launched a series of anti-counterfeit campaigns targeting Yunshao counterfeit cigarettes. But in the face of monetary interests, people are willing to risk their lives. Making counterfeit cigarettes at most only results in a few years in prison if caught. Moreover, the counterfeit cigarette manufacturers in Yunshao are constantly upgrading and iterating. From blatantly making counterfeit cigarettes at home in the past, they are now forced to go underground, setting up counterfeit cigarette production lines in remote mountainous areas with people on the lookout, making it extremely difficult for the authorities' anti-counterfeit campaigns. Chinese enterprises frequently infringe on international brand trademarks, but genuine brands often find it difficult to win lawsuits, frequently losing cases. The famous Japanese brand Muji is a typical example. Japan's Muji mainly sells daily necessities. The name means no brand quality goods and was founded in 1980 with stores in many countries worldwide. When Japan's Muji entered the Chinese market, they found that the Muji trademark had already been registered in 2000. The next year, the Japanese company filed an objection to the trademark registration, but lost the case. In July 2021, a Beijing court ruled again, ordering Japanese Muji's Shanghai branch and its parent company in Japan to compensate Beijing Cottonfield 400,000 RMB, about 62,400 USD. Let's first learn a little bit about trademark registration in China. Mainland China's law protects trademarks based on the registration system, meaning whoever registers first owns the trademark. However, in other regions, the law protects trademarks based on usage, meaning whoever uses the trademark first owns it. Japanese Muji applied to register the Muji trademark with China's Trademark Office in 1999, registering almost all categories from 1 to 45, except for category 24, which includes cotton fabrics, towels, quilts, bedsheets, bed covers, quilt covers, and other bedding items. Around 2000, Hainan Nanhua Experimental Trade Company registered the Muji name for Category 24 products and later sold the trademark to Beijing Cottonfield Textile Products Company Limited. Later, Beijing Cottonfield established a Beijing Muji company and authorized it to use the trademark in China exclusively. Therefore, in China's legal sense, the Japanese Muji trademark is infringing on Beijing Muji's trademark rights. Beijing's Muji and Cottonfield Company have repeatedly filed lawsuits against genuine Japanese Muji, and the Japanese Muji has repeatedly lost the lawsuit, including Beijing Cottonfield Company's lawsuit against Japan's Muji for trademark infringement in 2015. Japan's Muji lost the lawsuit with a cost of approximately US $86,000. In November 2019, the Beijing High Court finally ruled that Japan's Muji had constituted trademark infringement against Beijing's Muji and Cottonfield Company, and awarded damages of US $98,300 and stated to eliminate the infringement effects. In China, situations where knockoffs triumph over genuine products have occurred repeatedly. After American basketball superstar Michael Jordan authorized Nike to establish the Air Jordan brand, a knockoff brand called Xiaodan appeared in China in 1999. Unexpectedly, both the first and second trials ruled against the genuine Air Jordan. Michael Jordan himself was dissatisfied and appealed to China's Supreme People's Court for a retrial, but it was ultimately rejected. Afterward, Xiaodan countersued the Air Jordan brand, demanding they cease infringement, issue a public apology, and pay 300,000 RMB or about USD 40,000 in damages.